Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Flick Geeks Presents. I'm your host, Johnny D, and this is the day-to-day Gun 'em All podcast, calls for us.
Rock on.
Rock on. So today we're going to be talking about Drafthouse Films' Cheap Thrills. It comes out this week, February 21st, on video on demand, and March 21st in theaters. So let's start from the beginning, shall we? So Cheap Thrills follows Craig, who's played by Pat Healy, a struggling family man who loses his low-wage job and is threatened with eviction. In an effort to delay facing the music at home, he heads to a local bar and encounters an old friend, Ethan Embry, who is from such films as Empire Records. Two friends are roped into a road of drinks by a obscenely wealthy stranger, David Kettner, of course, from Anchorman 2.
Whammy!
Yes, Whammy. Along with his mysterious wife, Sarah Paxton, from The Innkeepers.
And
Oh, yeah. The couple engages the two friends in a series of innocent dares in exchange for money over the course of the evening, with each challenge upping the ante, in both rewards and boundaries. It seems easy and much with money, but the couple's twisted sense of humor pushes just how far Craig and his friend are willing to go for money and cheap thrills. And that's the premise of the movie, as we all know. So we saw it, and I just want to wait. First off, I want to let everybody know, Carlos has not been a big fan of any of the Drafthouse films that we've been reviewing this past season, back in 2013 or now. The last one, Field in England, you were kind of somewhat hard on it, but not as hard on it.
I think the last one that I enjoyed a lot was I Declare War.
Oh yeah, that was like last summer.
Yeah,
I think.
So I'm not a total prude. I hate them all.
But actually, this one you actually this is probably the one that you've enjoyed the most.
I enjoyed this one. I thought it was really good. It reminded me of two different an amalgam of two movies.
Which ones?
Well, first off, Indecent Proposal.
Okay.
You know, Robert Redford, Demi Moore, and Woody Harrelson.
Mm-hmm.
You know, where it's like a rich guy who offers a couple money to do something.
Yeah.
So it has shades of gray from there, and also it also reminded me of. Have you ever seen the Joel Schumacher? Yes, I have. There was a good Joel Schumacher.
There was a good
Joel Schumacher's Falling Down.
The Michael Douglas movie, right?
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
To me, it was an amalgam of that, because Falling Down, which is a good movie, it's where Michael Douglas plays middle management.
Yeah.
A working class man who basically loses his job and just and his day, as he's basically having a shitty day, and all the chaos that comes from that day as he basically starts rebelling against the machine. And it kind of reminded me that at the beginning with the character of Craig, and how he's just an average working, trying to provide for his family, and then loses his job, and then it's like, oh shit, what am I gonna do? I'm desperate for cash. I gotta try to keep my family from getting evicted. I hate the economy and how it's doing. I'm willing to do practically anything and everything.
On a quick side note, I kind of found it funny when he lost the job. Not really a spoiler. You already.
It's in the trailer.
Yeah.
It's not a big revelation secret. The secret is what goes on.
He's walking. Pat Healy's Craig, the character, was walking on the street, and what did we see? It's Sepulveda Boulevard.
Right.
You freaking recall. It just found it funny to me, because everything is being shot in Georgia or Canada, anything. So it's actually nice to see a location that I'm familiar with, and I can actually walk down the street.
Because it takes place in America, USA, the town of America, USA, an amalgam of everywhere and anything.
Right.
It's not a specific town; it's every town. But it's that whole thing about you have to somehow provide, and it's like, what are we gonna do? And ultimately, the indecent proposal part comes in, where it's the couple comes in and they basically start giving them a series of kind of obstacles and dares, almost like a sick reality show, kind of like a Fear Factor.
Oh yeah, thing. Yeah.
And it just starts escalating from like,
you
know, $50 if you chug this tequila first, and then like $100 if you that gets slapped by that girl, and then it just starts.
Yeah, it gets worse. It gets worse by the minute. When they get to the house, that's when it like shit hits the fan, and it just gets fucking worse. The thing I really enjoyed about this film is, I mean, there's a lot of twists in it, especially toward the third act. Mm-hmm. I was shocked by the third act. Like, there was something that really surprised the hell out of me that I didn't think it was gonna.
Well, like go. There were some things I kind of saw where it was gonna go. I kind of could believe like it could only go certain ways, and it could only end with like that. You know, with someone ending up like that. Either if it's not everyone, it has to be someone. Someone's gonna end like that. You know, with the way these things are going. Yeah. Someone is going to end like that. So I was like, the question really is how many people will end up with the way of what was it? The friend. I'm not gonna say which one. The friend. But you know, someone's gonna end up like that eventually. The way these things start accumulating. So you kind of saw it coming, but I wanted to see how we would get to that logical conclusion.
And I think the writers who wrote the film did a fantastic job with that. I think.
I think this is the director's first film, right?
I think so, and it's actually a well acted movie because everybody's on their A game. David Kettner is playing a even more raunchier version of David Kettner. Because I mean, he always plays like the perverted, you know, the perverted older guy and like the jackass coworker, jackass boss. But in this one, he kind of goes to the next limit on that character he plays. But I liked his.
It has some elements of black comedy. You know,
oh yeah,
like the whole thing where he's like, "Oh, where's your car keys?" And he's like, "I don't know. I think it's in the mat. It's like behind there on that mantle." And then he turns around and it's like, there's a picture of him with a karate expert with all the trophies, and you're like, "Oh."
I was fucking on the floor laughing.
Watching that. Boom!
But what's it called? There's other like things, and Pat Healy, the guy who plays Craig, our kind of hero.
Yeah, like the only complaint I have about Pat Healy's character is I don't believe that that was his friend growing up.
I mean, we all grow up and we all like change.
But you know, the way they make it sound like he was like, yeah, we used to skateboard and we used to hang out and like you kind of.
Dude, I mean, there's people out there that used to like being a punk band, they used to skateboard, and now they look all, they look completely different. Like, I mean, there's this. I think of a quick story. There's actually this band in London called this. I think it was the Skids. Okay. And the lead singer, well, the band sang. Oh fuck! I'm really fucking this story up. Sorry guys. Into the Valley. It was called Into the Valley, the song, and that was kind of their big hit out there. And later on, the lead singer of that band, I believe he became a BBC newscaster.
Right.
Like completely the fucking opposite of what he was.
Yeah, because when you go like skater punk to Drew Carey, you know, it's like, wow.
So I mean, I can believe it. I mean that he was that person like 10 years early or 5 years early.
Yeah, granted, it was supposed to be almost a whole like 5, 10.
I mean, he matured. I mean, like I said, he has a wife and kid, and the friend that just saw him out of the blue, he has practically nothing. So I mean, we all change, but basically. So I mean, I believed him.
This movie, a lot of it deals with basically the immortal question of what would you do for a Klondike bar. You know, where it's
I could just do anything for a Klondike bar.
Or at this point, it's like, how desperate would you do? Like, what's your going price? Like, it's almost like I ask you, okay, I want you to the challenge will be name your price. How much would you be willing to do to be in the middle of town of Times Square, New York?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be butt naked, okay, and have a Spider-Man impersonator fuck you in the ass while you're saying, "Ooh, what a lovely tea party I'm having, Green Goblin." Name your price.
Oh.
Name your price, sir.
That's actually not.
Name your price.
How
much would it take? You know, it's like it's that immortal question. You know, it's like, oh, okay, I'll do something more simple. Okay, name your price. You have to eat. Well, I won't make you eat it. You have to lick a urinal keg. You know what a urinal keg is? Right?
Yeah, of course. I think we all know.
How much would you ask? It's like someone's like, you got to lick that urinal keg. It's a used one too, so it's not like fresh. It's like I'm talking about in a ballpark, and it's a full attendance. People have already came and pissed on it. You know, maybe a little pubes or so are on there.
$5,000.
$5,000. All you gotta do is like, that's a quick lick, man.
And I can spit it out afterwards.
You could if you want to.
I don't need to
You don't need to swallow. You're clearly a spitz. You're not a swallower.
Yeah, I'm more of a spitter.
You know, 5,000 is your price?
5,000 is my price.
All right. And by the way, we're gonna have to televise this.
Fine.
All right.
Televise it.
I'll go for $1 million.
$1 million?
Hey, I'll do it for $1 million. With $1 million, I don't give a fuck. Well, people can assume what they want. I got $1 million. It's like, oh, your friends are gonna judge you. Fuck it, I can buy new friends. You know.
Anyways, but I mean.
But it's that kind of questions that this movie implies. It's like, how far would you go? What would you do for that amount of money? Things that and then it gets to the competitive nature where it's like everyone's now. It shows in a way it's a kind of a satire to things like reality shows, like Fear Factor and stuff. The competitive greed factor, because these guys are two good friends. It starts at the beginning with the bar where you see like these guys are good buddies, and then it starts as the movie goes along. You start seeing the darkness inside, the evil, the pent up emotions and the frustrations that they held for each other, and then the greed that the money comes into play. I wish they explained a little bit more on the couple.
Yeah, that's the only thing I didn't like about it either, is because, I mean, they just kind of showed up out of nowhere. Yeah, it was her birthday and all, but I kind of want to know the backstory of how they met and how they came to be. I mean, I like maybe a prequel to Cheap Thrills, but that's just wishful
It's one of those movies that I could see. It was a good movie. I could see potential for everyone here. Like, this is the springboard movie that's great on your resume. Mm-hmm. Like, afterwards, the director could probably do more. Like, this is a worthy thing to put on your resume.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
It'll be like, from the maker of Cheap Thrills, and then, this could lead to bigger and better movies.
I mean,
it kind of reminds me of the movie that came out like a year ago, I think, The Purge.
Oh, the Universal,
yeah, which has a sequel coming soon. Where interesting concept and everything.
And you can do many sequels.
Yeah.
You can do many sequels.
Like they are. Same thing with this. You can kind of make more sequels of this.
As long as you have the David Kettner and the Sarah Paxton characters, you can they can practically just
have them like do again or another similar couple, maybe in Europe.
Something to that matter, but I mean, I think that
you don't want to do too many because then it'll cheapen the thrill.
At least a trilogy, maybe a trilogy. But I mean, director E.L. Katz, I think, did a fantastic job in his first movie, and I wouldn't mind seeing more films directed by him. So good job, E.L. Good job.
If you like those type of movies, kind of dark comedy with a little bit of suspense thriller kind of thing, in the style of a very good. Like, if you like The Purge, or you like, I don't know, Hostel, what you say? Like,
yeah, kind of
think that kind of horror, kind of it is. I'm gonna tell you right now, there are some gross, unapologetic sequences in this.
That's the other. Speaking of that, that's the other thing I really enjoyed about this film. It was actually unapologetic. They didn't sugarcoat anything. They didn't really didn't not show it. They actually kind of went above and beyond the shit that we didn't want to see, but we're seeing it.
Right.
Like
when someone is basically offering you money to do crazy, stupid stunts and things, you know, you could think of a couple of things like, "Hey, I dare you to put Jackass style. I dare you to put lobsters down your pants," and it starts like maybe just more playful. But you can think in your dark mind, where could it logically go when there are no restrictions?
Yeah.
And this movie starts like I said, simple with like, oh, $50 if you choke down this tequila, $100 if you get slapped by that girl, and then it starts escalating to more intense things that are questionable, that pushes your boundaries of what you're willing to do. It's like, whoa.
What you do for money?
Yeah, and especially when your back is against the wall and you need that money.
I mean, I'm almost to that point right now, actually.
So you really are contemplating that Spider-Man thing. It's like, what? Is there an offer? Yeah. Is there a man? Is Stan Lee coming out with money bills? And he was like, Excelsior, motherfucker, $2 million. Come on, ching.
As long as they wear a condom, fuck me in the ass. You know?
Ching ching.
But I guess that should do it.
He'll sell himself for $1. Buy that for $1.
It would not be $1. That's for damn sure. But
dignity costs a little bit more. At least a minimum of 5.
Well, all in all, we both enjoyed it. So scale it of 1 to 5.
I'll give it to 5.
5? 5 for both of us. Yay! The first Drafthouse Films actually from both of us to get a 5 out of 5. But I gave Bangkok Death a 5 out of 5.
I didn't see
What the fuck? It's on Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
But this, again, Cheap Thrills, it comes out this Friday, February 21st. Or if you've seen it today, it's February 21st. No, wait. Is it February 21st?
I don't know.
It is February 21st, sorry. And it's also coming out March 21st in theaters.
Right.
So again, February 21st, video on demand, in theaters, March 21st. So that's another from the good folks at Drafthouse Films. So that should do it for this week's episode of Flick Geeks Presents. You can follow us on Twitter, Instagram at Flick Geeks. Like us on Facebook, facebook.com/FlickGeeks. Follow us on Tumblr, flickgeeks.tumblr.com. And am I missing something? Oh yeah, subscribe to this thing that we have right here. Subscribe to our YouTube channel right here. And also press the like button right there. Not the dislike button. Press the like button. Yeah, the little thumbs up. Please do. I mean, we have other videos, other reviews from the other Drafthouse Films movies that we review. We also got other movie reviews there, some enhanced versions of our podcast. Oh, and subscribe to iTunes, of course. How have I not ever said that on these? Subscribe to iTunes. That is our Flick Geeks podcast. We talk about movie news and all that good stuff with myself, Carlos, and Arlene Martinez, and Simon Dowdy, who's actually back. If anybody remembers the old Flick Geeks podcast from a year or two ago. But yeah, there you go. So that concludes it. So we don't know what the next Drafthouse films we're reviewing. So Drafthouse, let us know. Let us know what we're going to be reviewing pretty soon.
We gave you a 5 out of 5.
I gave you a 5 out of 5. I mean, I'm always pretty generous with Drafthouse film movies, but this guy over here, I actually really enjoyed the hell out of this movie. Anyway, so yeah, that'll do it. So until next time, thank you.